So, Umair, the interesting piece is a lot of problems can be solved with traditional software development, right? We've had great tools for IT operations monitoring in the past. So they were great, right? But to deal with the complexity that is introduced by all the new capabilities and technologies of the clouds, of Kubernetes, microservices, all of those things, you need something that makes certain decisions by itself. So you cannot go and set the thresholds anymore in terms of how much latency a disk can have in a specific situation, or how the network switch should behave in the morning during the VDI boot storm. There is dozens or hundreds or even thousands of those little examples where you hit with your application the whole infrastructure in a certain way, and there is no way for your IT operations team to know what is relevant and what is not. And the interesting piece in any of those AI-driven monitoring tools is the ability to combine this fuzzy logic that you are getting through AI/ML, where you can say, oh yeah, that's the disk behavior. That's the heat map of a disk that's going to die usually in 3 to 4 or 5 weeks. You can do this with deep learning algorithms, right? You can identify these patterns, but you see how specific that example is. That is one model that you're already using. But an application doesn't only need disk, right? An application needs a lot of different things at a lot of different levels, and even different kind of disk and storage. So we are really talking about a combination and a merging together of a lot of different models based on customer pain points, meaning whenever we see a customer having a costly pain point, such as, they're losing disks and then the arrays replicate east to west, and then you have performance issues, then you think about, how can I use machine learning and artificial intelligence to make this better, right? But you can see this is a small consideration out of so many. And that's the interesting piece about CA, operational intelligence, the ability to connect to everything and to give me that ability in the first place to solve these problems. Because if I don't have the data, if I can't connect to these things, then my algorithm cannot do anything, right? And that is the important part here that almost all the companies have to solve before they start thinking about going a step further.
No, absolutely. I think some vendors basically give users the opportunity to pick the right algorithm, right? You said it's a different algorithm. It's different. It not only depends on the data source, but the type of data. Is it time series data? Is it alert data? So you need textual analysis in some cases. You need different algorithms for anomaly detection for a time series data. I think what we are trying to build as well is have that logic in there where the system understands the type of the data and applies the right algorithm to it too, right? Mm-hmm. Because it's one thing saying, hey, you pick your algorithm by data type. Customers don't want that. They don't want that complexity to understand the data or the algorithms, or pick and choose which algorithms to apply to which device or which data type. So what we are building in the solution is the solution automatically decides which algorithms to apply which algorithms to apply to alert clustering, which algorithms to apply to eliminate what you call dynamic thresholding, do automatic thresholding through anomaly detection by studying the historical pattern and predicting if it's an outlier or is it within normal behavior or slightly abnormal or really abnormal behavior. So I think that's what another key part is really having those rules in place and picking the right algorithms with the type of data, and really encapsulating that complexity of applying an algorithm from the IT operations team, right?
And deep learning is not a universal cure for everything.
Absolutely, yeah.
Deep learning impresses the hell out of me every time a startup comes and shows me, whoops, here's what I can do. There was no training. I just hooked it up to the data source. It's all good, right? And then you find out, reliability is 91%, but the other 9% will bring down my whole data center if I don't see them, or cause a lot of people a lot of problems. So it's again that issue, right, where you can see something that is really, really fascinating and takes really little training and work, but it's just not feasible today. That's why we need that aspect of the domain expertise on the other side. Okay.